Hello everyone, this is the first time I'm making a video in such a format. I plan to make a series of several videos showing my process of building the Nebulon-B Escort Frigate. I will explain as much as I can along the way, and you are encouraged to provide feedback, which I will take into account before building the next part of the ship. Okay, let's begin. So I started with the stand that will hold the actual ship and display the name. On a piece of paper, I just sketched like the following shape, basically to get an idea of how each letter will look. Because my plan was to build each letter out of Lego bricks. Besides having a cool ship, I decided why not have the name look pretty interesting as well. So I came up that each letter is best when it's like 5 studs tall. So I started making the following backplate, which is 7 studs tall. And using these 3x3 and 2x6 pieces, with the exception of the end, having a 2x4 and a 2x3, I came up with the following backplate. And for additional support, I decided to add these 3x3 and 1x6 bricks to add for like the second layer of the stand. And each letter, my idea, was to be on these, I guess, single stud wide bricks. And while I was searching for Lego bricks online, I found this interesting piece, which is a 1x5. That is actually perfect because all my letters are 5 studs tall. So, using the following pieces, I started mimicking the shape that I drew in my initial sketch. And putting all these pieces together, I decided to have the back of the letters have this, I guess, clean, flat style, no studs. So basically the entire stand and the name Nebulon-B, my thinking was there won't be any studs that are visible. So after putting all of them together, this is how the letters look. All of them are 4 studs wide, with the exception of the letter N, which is 5 studs, basically a 5x5. Now, for the bricks that will make the letters themselves, I just put different pieces together until I came up with the final design that I like, which I'll now show you. I'll just fast forward through it. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the entire trial and error process for me just digging through different type of plates that I have and putting them, together, this and that. The final result you'll see right now is basically these are the plates that I think fit best with this type of build, and it the end it looks somewhat like this. You want to then connect them with just regular bricks. I chose like 2x4, 2x2, and then 2x6. Oh, okay, yeah, I think the neighbors are starting to cut grass. Looks like we're back to the music. Okay, so that's enough. So in the end, it looks somewhat like this. Now, let's go to the next step. Going back to the drawing board. So, we know that the Nebulon-B has this long, thin stick that holds two structures together. Like on the left side, or I should say the front of the ship, has like the larger one, and then the back has a small piece. So, since it looks kind of the shape that you see in front of you, I think that the best way to hold this creation is to have like two supports. One smaller support in the front of the ship and a taller support in the back. So to make the support, I decided to remove the following plates from the base. Like this. And after a long 2-minute brainstorm, I decided to use the following pieces. The idea is, if you see, when you connect the following bricks in such a way, when the support is connected to the side, like this, and surrounded by bricks all around, it's going to be very sturdy. So as you can see, that's connected. Once you attach the support, you just fill up the surrounding space. And the length of these supports, I just estimated that the short one will be like 16 studs and the longer one can be 40 studs. And this can easily change as I go further along in the building process. Now it is time to fill up the base with bricks. It really doesn't matter what color they are, just choose whatever bricks you just don't want to see anymore. I mean, like, look, this one has eyes, or like a smiley face. I mean, I'm not 4 years old anymore. I don't know, maybe your little brother chewed on a brick and, it's disgusting. Just put it inside. You're never going to see these bricks again. Once a good portion there has been filled up with the bricks that you don't want to see anymore, you can start putting the plates on top. And I would recommend using the following pattern. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm satisfied with the final outcome. Now that the base plate has been completed, it's time to actually attach the sign that says Nebulon-B. And I used 4 supports, similar ones like this, evenly spread out in the back. Once you attach it, just make sure it's sturdy. On the actual plate itself, you'll just use regular bricks, 2 bricks high. My idea is to have the name of the ship displayed at an angle, so that after you attach it, this is how it looks in the end. Nebulon-B. Now, yes, we're finally building the ship. We've been talking so much about the base plate, we forgot what we're actually building. Okay, so all of my builds have a very similar technique. When you connect the bricks in such a way, then once you attach the base plate to the side, this piece becomes like very sturdy. I mean, it's not gonna break. But don't quote me and do not drop test this. Okay, so my thinking behind this ship is it's gonna be on these 2 supports, but not only do I want it to stay on there firmly, I also want it to be removed easily. So after just playing around with the bricks, putting different ones together, this is kind of the frame I came up with, and my plan is to have like different rooms inside the ship. So like there's some in the back, and then there's one. I should say that's actually the front of the ship. This is the back. So right now there's a total of 5 rooms, and just to give an idea, like I have like a few rebels inside. It's pretty cramped, but as we progress in the build, it will change. And here I'm just continuing the frame itself, just making the structure, and this is how it looks at the end. And yep, this is my Nebulon-B. Okay, end of the video. And newsflash, a few days later, bam! What? LEGO Pro Bricks, what do you do? Oh, I just broke everything and just redid it from scratch. But, I did use very similar techniques. I just really didn't like how the frame looked before, so I just made it slightly different, or I should say, a lot different. But, you know what? The connection point to the support is completely different. I mean, this I think is much better. I can barely remove it myself, but I think it's very well built. So that is how it pretty much looks. And as I said, the idea is that you can easily remove the ship from the stand, but by itself, it will just stay in place. It's not gonna fall off. So similar to how I had it before, it was like 5 rooms or something. I have a little bit less rooms. Here in this back area, I plan to have the bridge itself. All the computers, controls. The rooms are similar, but there's more space in them. And the actual frame, the structure, is connected rather along from the sides. It's actually from the back. So the reason I made this opening is because I want to make a solid piece of Lego that connects the entire ship from top to bottom. This way, the structure is not going to fall apart when I pick it up. And to demonstrate this, after finishing, I guess, the first rough draft of the frame, so see, I grab it, I pick it up, I pick it up easily. So see, I'm just holding it with one hand, right where the thin part of the structure is. And I mean, I could swing like a hammer. Look, there's nothing is happening to this. See, nothing. See? You don't want to go, when your friends visit your house, you're like, cool, Nebulon-B, and then let me hold it, and then that's it. That's the end of it. So, I got a little carried away and pretty much finished this part of the build. Now, don't worry, I'm not showing right now how every single piece is built. The reason for that is when I actually build these rooms, the entire structure is already going to be in pieces. I can't build it like this. So I'll break it apart and start from the very beginning, and that's when I record each of these steps, how I get the middle support connected, and then the bridge will be built from ground up. From the movie, we know that Luke in the bacta tank was located around this section, so I'm gonna make the room over here. Everything below can just be storage or crew quarters. This concludes part 1 of building the Nebulon-B. I encourage you to provide any feedback, suggestions you have. I'll regularly check comments so that before I begin the next part of my build, I get an idea of the ideas you provided. Maybe I have some different ideas, and then I guess video, piece by piece, I'll show you how I built this Nebulon-B. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.